What's up, you guys? My name is Micah, and today's read is going to be about Ancestral deck. But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be pulling a general word of the day. Spirit, what is the word of the day? And your word of the day is communication, whether it be relationships, work life, friendships, things like that. If people around you don't have the communication skills or willing to have the communication skills with you to tell you that their feelings or things that's going on in their lives, or not necessarily personal things, but anything that can affect you, if they can't have the proper, appropriate communication skills, and in them situations, you probably want to distance yourself. This could be friends, family, relationships, because a lot of times we have unnecessary situations with people that could have just came direct and could have been upfront, right? So I want you guys to have communication skills. Ensure that you're searching out for those, whether it be relationships, career status, friendships, co-workers, things like that. You need to make sure that people around you is having great communication skills, because when we need to communicate in order to prevent any unnecessary things that could have been avoided, right? Things that misleading information, right? Having great communication skills helps us avoid those type of situations, right? So let's go ahead. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I ask that you watch the video through the whole way. And if you guys do enjoy it, just remember to hit a like on that button, right? Hit a like on the video. Okay, here we go. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have regarding our ancestral deck today? All right. Okay, so the first message we have is time change, right? So it could be meaning that time changes over time, right? It says no condition is permanent, whether it's good or bad. So the fortunate should not boost, and the less fortunate should not give up. This is very important. A lot of times we even get into situations that are really good situations, right? Relationships, career choices, things like that, and they change. But you have to understand, sometimes when they change and they switch up and things don't last as long as we plan them to, a lot of times it's for the benefit of our future selves, right? I remember one time I was working in a location, or working in a certain field, and I ended up that ended up ending sooner than I expected. But it brought a different outcome. Just like my last job, it brought a different outcome here, right? So, a lot of times we leave positions, good positions, to become in better positions that might not seem bad at first, but it becomes bad in the long run. Just as on a bad note, if you're going through a certain situation, you have to understand that bad times don't last as long either. You know what I'm saying? I know it feels like a long time. I don't know what you're going through, but I know it feels like a long time, but also keep that in mind that nothing lasts forever and everything is temporary. So just take that, and that's going to help you mentally get through whatever you're getting through, right? Okay. See, what's our next message from the ancestors? Alright, so the next one we have is God is in the heavens. A symbol of hope and a reminder that God's dwelling place is in heaven, where he can listen to all prayers. Right? So listen, anytime that you're wanting or needing something, they say ask and you shall receive. So make sure you guys are praying up. Make sure you guys understand the higher power is above you. And by him being above us all, he can look down. So he does see the wicked that's taking place in his earth, and he does see the good people. Right? He has an overall clear view, an overall clear vision of everything. Normally when you're at the top, you ever been on a helicopter or plane and you can see everything, versus if you're at the bottom, you can see just buildings. But if you're on an airplane, you can see the whole landscape, and that is what the divine sees. That is what the higher power sees. They see everything that's going on. So just because you feel like nobody's watching you, whether it be throughout your personal life or your public life, you have to understand that there is somebody watching you, watching over you, right? Sending his angels to protect you, and all through all circumstances. So knowing that, like they say, balloons go up, and I think sometimes people would take like messages and place them on a balloon. I wouldn't recommend it, of course, because the plastic and things like that. But it's just a figure of speech to say that you can send your ideas and your passion and your spirit up in the air, and allow it to rain on good things. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like evaporation, how like the water evaporates. Isn't it pretty cool that salt water we can't really consume because it makes us more dehydrated, but when it evaporates from the sun, the salt water rises and it falls fresh water. So you have to realize that send your problems in the earth, let God deal with them, let him send you blessings down to accumulate for those problems, right? Okay, Spirit, what is our next message? So the next one is independence, right? So you could be becoming more independent, or people around you could be starting to see that you're more independent from the expression. Independence comes with hard work. Now, independence is very hard. I remember I actually went for a run the other day, and as I was coming up, I saw a little boy taking out the trash. And I remember when I was a little kid, I used to take out trash, and I used to think in my head, I can't wait till I get older, because then I won't have to take out trash. Funny story, when you get older and you're more independent, you still have to do those things that allowing you to be independent. See, when our parents, like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but most times when our parents are sitting there telling us to do certain things, it's because we're going to have to do these things in the future, not realizing it. And that is of itself hard work. So whenever you're working hard on whatever craft that you're doing, whatever skill that you're learning from, heck, it could be even detoxifying and getting away from situations such as toxic and karmic people that are trying to bring negativity to your life. That is called working hard. That is called getting up off of the couch and going doing what you have to do to make yourself a better and more independent individual, so that you can be more reliant, more self-sufficient, and things like that. So great job if you guys are becoming more independent, is what I'm seeing, is what we're picking up on. We're picking up on independence, skills that are becoming independent. And if you are in seek to become an independent, remember, independency does not come overnight. It does take hard work. It does take a lot of patience. It does take a lot of dedication, right? All right, let's see what's your next message. All right, Spirit, what is our next message? All right, so the next one we have for you guys is ram's horns, right? And this could be like, if you guys ever see a ram, they always hunt down like the red flag thing, and you know it takes a lot of direct attention for a ram to have to focus on that handkerchief or whatever that case is, where they have the bulls and things like that. That's when I think of ram's horns. And I believe that once you guys put your focus and undivided attention onto something, you will succeed in whatever it is. It might take a while, right? Because even the ram will miss a few times, but it does happen. I mean, sorry, even the bull will miss a few times. I think of ram horns and I think of the bulls, right? And even though the bull chases down the handkerchief, sometimes it could dodge the person. Sometimes it gets lucky and actually hits them. But unfortunately, I should say, but I mean, that's the game the person plays when they hop in the ring with a bull. And your dreams could be, you could be the bull, and the dreams could be the handkerchief. And once you be, direct and you focus on that red target, you don't know what could happen, what could be the outcome, but it's better to be focused than not to be, right? This is a symbol of humanity together with strength, emphasizing that even the strong need to be humble. See, remember when I mentioned about the guy that's in the ring? A lot of times that you see them, they get arrogant, right? Sometimes they get real arrogant because they've been doing it for so long and they've never got into a bull ring before, never got into a situation where it was life threatening for them. And some of them I've seen turn their back on the bull. You know what I mean? And that's called not being. Of course, that's the complete opposite of being humble and recognizes where your flaws is at. Spirit wants you guys to know that even though you get to the top or wherever you are, no matter how good you get, always remember where you started at, right? And a lot of times this could be self-motivation for when times where you feel, because you're going to get at the top. And they have a song called At the Top It Gets Lonely. When you get at the top or you get good at your career, you're going to have a lot less friends than you did when you started. You're going to have a lot less people cheering you on when you did when you started, because now it's going to be a lot more envious and jealousy than anything, right? So, well, it's going to be a lot less real friends, I should say, cheering you on. It's going to be people cheering you on like they're proud of you the whole time. They're probably just proud that you made it and not really proud of your progress. But what I can say is, just show that you guys remember how far you came, because there's going to be a point in that high peak where you feel like you haven't done enough, you feel depressed, something might happen, and that's all to knock you off that high horse. That's all to have you come and plumping back down. That is the devil to help you come and crashing right back down with everybody else. So ensure that you guys remember those times that you didn't have it, so that gives you the ambition to continue going on, right? That's what I do, right? Whenever I seeing how far I came on this channel, that's what keeps me motivated and keeps me efficient to keep continuously making more videos and continuously helping others, right? All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have for us? Okay, so the next one we have is twisting. A symbol of depicting the twists and turns of life and the need to be versatile and resilient to survive. This is very important. This is called flexibility mostly. You're gonna have times where it's gonna be slow days and fast days. Balance is key to all of this, right? It could be income. Let's use income as an example. If you typically make $4,000 a month and now you're making, say next 6 months you start making $2,000. Let's say your income is only $2,000. Not your income, your expenses. It's like $2,000 or $1,500. It's important that you guys put that extra money into savings if you don't need to spend it. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna allow, that savings account is gonna be able to fund when times get rough, when things get hard. And this not specifically financial advice, but this just shows you how important balance is within your life, and make sure that you guys are balancing things out, such as your physical self, through your mental health, through your financial situations, anything of that sort. Try to balance it out as much as possible, right? Make sure you guys are taking a day off or so to realign yourself, get yourself back on track and things like that if you guys do feel drained. Flexible mindset. This is a good trick. I would tell people, never go into any sort of environment expecting something. Always expect, yes, you want to hope for the best, but be prepared if something doesn't necessarily go right. Because what happens if we put into our minds that I'm going to go into work today and everything's going to go by great, and say your manager was having he wanna just be the person to mess up your day, right? If you go in there with a mindset of, I don't know what's to come, but I'm prepared for the worst, but I'm hoping for the best, that's a versatile mindset. Because you're hoping for the best, so your positivity is up here, but you're prepared and you're ready for something to go down. So when something goes down or something goes up, you can flip and flop your mindset to be able to deal with those situations, right? So having a versatile mindset, having a flexible mindset is always key. That would help you from getting distressed any situation. It's why a lot of pilots, when they're in the air, and their engine fails, they have to use a calm, even though the situation is bad and terrible, they still have to have a calm body and a calm mind to be able to make a landing, because they're not going to make a landing freaking out. You know what I'm saying? So that's all about just being prepared for the worst and hoping for the best, right? All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have for us? So the next one we have is Spider's way up, right? And often life is like a way up, right? Life, everything connects. If you guys take a look at how life works, everything connects in some type of way, right? A symbol of wisdom, creativity, and the complexities of life. Anansi is a well-known character in the West African folklore. He is described as the messenger of the supreme being. He also bears the title of chief prankster. So yeah, wisdom, creativity, and the complexness of life. Life is like a spider web. It gets complex sometimes because we don't really know how a spider web. We can see how a spider web forms, but for an example, let's say you're walking in the forest. You can't really see a spider web. You walk into it. That's how life is. You don't really see your problems coming, right? Your problems just come. But having that having that mindset of just being prepared for the worst and hoping for the best, that flexible mindset will give you the wisdom and the skills to be able to deal with each spider web that you come across and each spider web that you encounter, even though you didn't see it firsthand, right? These are just little tips and tricks that I use that I'm just giving to you guys, you know what I'm saying? As just spreading the knowledge, right? That's what life is about. Spread, what other messages do you have for us from our ancestors? So the next one we have is calmness, and this is crazy because this is like confirming what I say with the pilots. You have to have a calm mind and a calm body to make it out certain situations, right? And it says a symbol of peace, calmness, and spirituality, tranquility. So when I think of tranquility, I think of like, this is probably not the same word, but I remember watching Kangaroo. Is it Kangaroo Jack? I think it's Kangaroo Jack. And it was like a tranquil gun, right? And in this movie, they had like to shoot. They was trying to like shoot the kangaroo to get like the lucky jacket off of him. If you guys are like 20 or 25 or something, you guys might know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, go check it out. It's a good movie. And tranquility, I think is short for tranquil. I think that's what they use when they want to take down an animal. If you guys watch Madagascar, you saw when they shot him with the tranquil and then they fell asleep. Similar situation. And basically, I remember the pilot had a tranquil, and I don't remember exactly what played out, but I'm pretty certain that he ended up having, of course, a sleepiness and things like that. And you know, a lot of times we go through certain situations where a tranquil, it could be like a calm feeling, right? You're drowsy, you're feeling your body go sleep. But throughout that calm feeling, my whole point of saying all of this is, even though you have that calm feeling, that calm body, and the tranquilness, it's all about making those certain decisions, and that could be helping you make certain decisions to be calm. Like for an example, in Madagascar, when they shot him with the tranquil, it was all to calm them down so they don't act out, because they was considered wild animals, right? Even though they was zoo trained, they didn't want them to go and bite somebody, things like that. So they calmed them down so they don't make other decisions. You could use this towards yourself. You can use tranquil measurements such as calming your body down so you don't act out in certain situations that don't call to act out in violent ways, such as somebody said something to you in the parking lot. You know what I mean? As much as you want to go and grab that strap, or as much as you want to go and grab a knife or whatever to show who's tough, sometimes you need to tranquil yourself and calm and ease up in your mind to just know that this person's probably the devil trying to take you out of your position. You might have just got some new good news, and then, like I said, life is that way, where nothing really lasts for a long time. So you just got good news, and then bad news comes right along and hits you in the face, and then you're ready to, you know, take something down. But it's all about having calmness. Spirit, what other message you got for us? It's all about being calm, guys. The last one we have for you guys is God never dies, therefore I cannot die. A symbol of God's enterprise and the perpetual existence of the human spirit. You guys have to understand, we are souls living in a temple body. Even though our body is precious and it looks great and it feels great to live in one, it's like a mansion, right? You have a soul. And when you die, your body deteriorates or your body fails on you, but your soul and your spirit uplifts out of your body. You cannot die. You see what I'm saying? That's why your spirit never should die. Like, you might have physical pain and things like that, but try to always, like I said, remain humble. Try to always reminisce on all the situation that you got out of. By doing so, you would enlighten the spirit, right? God is a spirit. Right? Even though they say that they put his son on the cross, right? We're not going to get too deep into that specific religion, but that's what they say, right? So if through all of that he still resurrected and came back to, you know, and this was all for our sins, if this is the powerful story that they've given to us, I want you guys to use that in your own form of way. I want you guys to realize no matter which situations you guys go through on a day-to-day basis, you have to understand that you are a spirit living in a body, and that you can make that spirit be as hungry as you can. Now, I understand, granted, there's a lot of physical things that you might have went through, some physical trauma that is probably not, you're probably not capable at this moment of actually physically doing something. But I want you guys to keep that spirit alive. I want you guys to keep that spirit lit. Keep that spirit lit for many circumstances. Like I said, this too shall pass. So even the bad times that you went through, it will get swept under the rug one day. And if it's your destiny to do whatever it is that you're doing, and you keep that spirit lit, you can accomplish it, right? So, but we're gonna end this reading on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember your your overall general message today was communication. Ensure that people are communicating around you. If they're not willing to see it in your face, and they're talking. Here's the trick: if you go to somebody and they're talking about somebody else to you, 9 10 times they're willing to talk about you as well. So make sure people have any right and appropriate communication skills whenever you're communicating with them. And if not, then maybe you just need to distance yourself from them a little bit, right? This is all just to have a lot of good habits as far as healing and as far as moving forward into the right and the divine light. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Give a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, and comment whatever it is that you want to comment. And also hit the post notification so you get notified whenever I drop a video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next video.